Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into the AWS Cloud Development Kit, AWS CDK. It's this open source thing from AWS that's, well, really changing how developers handle cloud infrastructure. So our mission today, figure out what CDK is, why it's such a big deal, and really importantly, how you can get started without getting, lost.
Yeah, and that big deal part, it really starts with bridging this gap. CDK lets developers use the languages and tools they already know for their apps, but for infrastructure. It makes the whole cloud thing feel much more, well, natural.
Okay, so let's unpack that. For folks who maybe know infrastructure as code, maybe raw cloud formation, what is CDK fundamentally? What's the big shift?
The big shift is moving from like static files, think YAML or JSON templates, to dynamic code. So at its core, CDK lets you define your VPCs, your EC2 instances, S3 buckets, all that stuff, using languages like Python, TypeScript, Java.
C#, go.
Yeah.
The usual suspects.
Exactly. And you're not just describing it, you're programming it. The clever part is that CDK takes your Python code or whatever, and behind the scenes, it generates and deploys the actual CloudFormation templates.
Ah, okay. So we're moving beyond just a declarative file to actual logic. That sounds like where the real power comes in.
Absolutely. That's the key. You get to use loops, conditionals, object-oriented programming, all the things developers use daily. You can abstract complex patterns, like maybe a standard web server setup, into reusable components. They call these constructs.
Constructs, like building block.
Exactly. Building blocks for your infrastructure. They range from really low-level ones that map directly to a single AWS resource up to quite high-level patterns that set up whole architectures with built-in best practices.
That sounds, incredibly useful for developers. But why should, say, a business care? What's the importance for them?
Well, it loops back to productivity and, crucially, reliability. Because developers are using tools they already know, their IDEs, linting, testing frameworks. The learning curve is way lower. They get up to speed faster.
Right. Less context switching.
Exactly. And you can define infrastructure dynamically. You need 10 subnets. That's a for loop, not copy-pasting 10 blocks of YAML, much less error-prone. And here's a huge thing. You can write unit tests for your infrastructure code before you even deploy.
Wait, unit tests for infrastructure?
Yeah. You can write a test to assert, say, that your S3 bucket must have encryption enabled, or that a security group doesn't allow unrestricted access. You catch configuration errors before they hit AWS. That's massive for DevOps, for moving faster but safer.
Wow, okay. No more deploying and just hoping the configuration is right. That feels like a game changer right there.
It really ties application development and infrastructure management much closer together. It's key for modern agile environments.
Okay, I'm sold. So if you're listening and you're thinking, right, I want to try this, but maybe you're a bit intimidated, how do you get started? What are some quick wins?
That's a really important point. My advice, start simple, really simple. Use the high-level constructs that the CDK library provides out of the box, like s3.bucket or lambda.function. Don't try building complex custom constructs on day one.
So leverage the pre-built stuff first.
Exactly. Get the CDK command line interface, the CLI, set up. You'll need to run CDK Bootstrap once for your AWS account and region to set up initial resources. Then the workflow is usually write some code, run CDK synth to see the cloud formation it would generate.
Oh, like a preview.
Precisely. Then use CDK diff tape work. This is super important to see exactly what changes will be made compared to what's already deployed. And only then run CDK deploy. That diff step is your safety check.
Makes sense. What about common mistakes? Any pitfalls beginners should watch out for?
Yeah, definitely forgetting to run CDK Bootstrap is a common one. Your deployments just won't work without it. Also, as I said, trying to get too fancy with custom constructs too early. Stick with the basics until you're comfortable. And maybe an obvious one, but easy to forget. Delete your CDK stacks when you're done experimenting. Otherwise, you'll keep paying for those resources. Use CDK destroy.
Good tips. So wrapping this up, the core idea seems to be AWS CDK turns infrastructure into, well, just another piece of software you write. It makes the cloud feel more like a programming environment, powerful, flexible, but also more familiar for developers.
Exactly. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Think about taking those infrastructure unit tests we talked about. Imagine integrating them right into your main CI/CD pipeline, running them automatically alongside your application tests every single time you commit code. Think about the confidence that gives you when releasing features. When your infrastructure itself is continuously tested and validated, that truly enables agile innovation.